Hello all, welcome back. You can see here we're back on our path that we filled out the last episode, wandering toward the great unknown and veering slightly off the path a bit, because I'm not very good at riding my horse. Pond here, jungle here, and you can see over here we got a road, but it's a road to nowhere, and today we're going to change that. Now, if you're not familiar with this road, the other end of it over there leads all the way back to our home, and this end leads to the end portal, which is sitting straight underneath this scaffolding. And today we are going to finish off a little bit of a bridge and also build some amount of a structure around this thing. Originally, I was thinking that we'd do something very like symmetrical. So you can see we have the path perfectly in line with this. I'm now thinking that we're actually not going to go for that. So this all is probably going to move a couple blocks over there. But in the meantime, you can see gathered some blocks here and also dragged a chest boat over in advance with lots more of the supplies that we might need. So we're gonna start sketching out our structure over there. You've got to take this with a grain of salt because this looks a little bit crazy right now. But this is sort of what we have planned. You can see over here we have some vague, I would say maybe concept art of what we're going to be building. And here we're going to have some windows in orange in here and some towers and walls in yellow. This right here we can say is where we're going to be dropping down into the portal. And we're going to come in at a higher level and then kind of wrap down. And this whole section is going to be broad windows open. And we're going to be using some moss blocks in here. So we can start it off right at the center of it all with a ring. Whatever sort of drop shaft we do, I think we're going to keep 3x3 like the portal. So we have that, and then we can, oh dear. And then we can build out around it. I think we got a window over here, extending 5 blocks wide. Over on this side of it, we have a tower coming out. That. And on this side, and I'm kind of tabbing back and forth to look at the screenshot of what we've planned out before. Have this sort of tower going on up here. I'm going to keep copying that all around. Well, that was fascinating, but we got it. Look at this thing, man. That was very exciting, but I think we're gonna shove this away in a chest and hopefully do a little bit of enchanting on it soon. We've moved over our bridge outline and down some of the outline over here. Over here it's still kind of floating up here, which is fine for now. But we're going to start stacking up with the wall, and you might have kind of seen when we were in the creative world, we're actually going to be using some clay. And in addition, hopefully some like diorite and other blocks mixed in with some of the normal stone-colored stones. Then that gives us 2 big shapes here to start with. And then back, I'm blanking a little bit on how we were going to do this, but I think at this level, we're going to have a window pane going across. We're kind of going to sort of pull some blocks across here and then stick up some wall pillars. And then the window's going to be visible out behind these. Anyway, we've been building up some more walls and towers. Right now, trying to decide how high up and down to put, well, all the way down, but how high up to put this one. That one I think is kind of okay. We might go even higher up later, but I'm not too worried about that right now. One of the things that I'm really focusing on is the view from over to this side as you're coming in. This section is kind of lowered, you can see. The roof's gonna come in about that level. The gate's a bit taller. I don't know what to do with this over here. I think that probably bringing it at least like a block up above this would be good, but then if we cap it there and stick some roof on or bring it up to a point above, not really sure yet. Alright, y'all, we have just been placing a lot of blocks. Can see a little bit from the inside, but we've filled out these walls with clay and the bridge and base out with cobble. So if we turn around and take a look, well, look at that. Couple things on the shapes and stuff. We've got this bridge going. I was kind of thinking of doing like one big arch, but I think this looks better with a couple of little ones because it's so... I guess just the arch can only get so wide before it starts looking a little goofy. Unfortunately, this middle one is a block short because someone is bad at counting and doesn't want to rebuild half the bridge. But you can see we're trying to do some variation where like the clay goes all the way down here on the towers and all the way up to the windows here. Similar situation over here. So that adds a little bit of flavor to the sort of macro view of it from over here. One thing you can notice pretty clearly right now is that, for one thing, we have no texturing, no windows, no sorts of stuff. But specifically, we have no roof. So we're actually gonna need to go on a little bit of adventure to get what we need for this. So I'm gonna grab some of our finest pillagings from the river and actually go ahead and head home right now. Now before we go all the way home, we're actually gonna do a little bit more quartz mining, because I'd like to do some enchanting when we get back, because I would like to go get some dark prismarine for our end structure roof, and we're gonna need some supplies to get that. Okay, grab some lapis, so let's see. Oh, not you. Riptide. Okay, that's not really what we... I was gonna try to go for loyalty, but then again, fast travel may also be useful, so may as well try it out. Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, this is so much like more pull underwater than I'm used to. I wonder if the Depth Strider effect actually like slows you down with the trident. I am getting so distracted, but we want... Okay, look at the sea. Sure, why not? Doesn't matter that much. What we need this for is just to go fish up a little bit of pufferfish for water breathing. Fishing time. Yippee. Oh, lily pad. Saddle? Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. I mean, that's 24 minutes of water breathing, which might be enough. Might try to go for another one. Check a bit of that in there. And a bit of that. And a little bit of that. There we go. Thank you, Pastor Jeff. The cheese provides, man. We're also gonna make a little bit of armor, I think. Or a little bit of updated armor. Because I do not want to be going into that there water temple half naked. No, 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 no. Man. Whatever. Okay, well this is a bit crap, but we'll live, maybe. I believe there's a monument somewhere down here in the ocean. I know there's also one way up there, but I think this would be closer if I can remember where it is. So it looks like we can probably horse over to maybe this peninsula and then boat out from there. Rather important stop on the way out. I think if we just dig out a little spot like that, you'll be safe there, won't you, buddy? Oh man, we need to go back for more pork. On the other hand, we only really need pork if we're taking damage. Got one here. Gonna try to run in and break open the top before we get stuck with the mine and fatigue to begin with. Oh, that's a lot of guys, man. Oh my god, that's a lot of guys. I do not like that. Oh, my mouse! Ah, there we go. Quiet in here. Nom nom nom. Oh, forgot they'd do that. Some professional blocking here. Oh, we do not want to get zapped by that laser, man. Fortunately, there's a lot of pillars in this room already, so we can kind of just do a little bit of, I don't want to say pole dancing, but, you know. And then, okay, this is the entrance. That would have been quite easy to just swim in, I guess. Okay, I think we're starting to make some progress. Okay, here we go. This is not really where I would like to be, I gotta say. Oh my gosh. We are getting very zapped right now. Got to evaluate our block situation, and we do actually have like a proper stack of blocks somewhere, which is lovely to know. I would have enjoyed finding that earlier. Unfortunately, these guys, like, they look gigantic, but they're only 2 blocks big, so it's actually pretty hard to, like, block them fully. We might be able to get this guy at least upstairs, though, which is nice. Oh, is he gonna swim out that way? That would not be good if he did that. Please do not. Please do not escape. I guess at this point we just have to start whacking him. Oh man. The armor, man. Think of the armor. Getting a beating off this guy. One sponge. And here's the back room. You can get a stack of powered rails off that thing. And not here, perhaps? Oh my gosh, that is a lot of lasers, man. You know, I've just realized that we haven't used our trident at all. I believe that was the one that we were in before, but I'm not actually totally sure. We could just milk our way in here and probably drink another of these. But yeah, here's the buddy. Ah, and he's dead. Milk up, and we gotta go look for any of the rooms that have dark prismarine. A little bit here. And just go ahead and pillage it all. Oh my gosh, okay. This is the place that we want to be. Okay, we kind of have a hoe. Could you stop? Gonna grab all of these that we can. And then also go ahead and steal the walls as best as possible. Wait. I think we may be onto something. Yes! Okay. No sponges in this one, but we got our prismarine ring. Okay. We have pretty much cleared the place out, and I am running out of pork. So we are going to head right the way back home and slap on as much of that roof as we can with our current supplies. Also, while we're here, gonna pop this back up to scratch. And we've also slapped that feather falling one on our boots, so maybe we aren't gonna die every time we fall off our 26 block off the ground bridge by the end portal. One last thing we gotta do is gather some glass for the windows, and specifically, I'd like to try some tinted glass. Frankie, Georgie, oh my gosh, you guys are so neglected. I believe if we just go right down here, right in here, amethyst geode, which has been unattended under our feet for quite a while, so it should be able to give us a decent supply of amethyst crystal shard things. We might end up doing a little bit more texture variation on these. Mix in some regular black glass or something. But for now we are going to just encase the windows just in these tinted glass. Alright, so it's time to start slapping a roof on this thing. We're gonna start very simple with this top section, and then we can even maybe do a little alternating line. And then for the top section, I think we're just gonna do a very simple prismarine stair roof. Here, we are going to have an actual roof section. And probably we didn't end up going for like a really hardcore curved roof, or curved wall. So we can probably just kind of go straight in line here. At some point, we're gonna run into a spot where these two slopes are gonna crash into each other, and we might want to make some edits to the way that works, or we might just allow them to keep continuing up in their expected path. Alright, and we are structurally done. It's not going to look that different. We have going to try to bring this around so that we get a little bit more of straight on approach, I think, since we have this symmetrical tower now. And the big update is that we have all of our walls filled in now. So as you can see, it's very dark in here, except over there where the lighting's doing weird stuff. And I don't think we're going to get around to the interior today. We'll try to at least dig the pit out so that we can jump into the end this way. But the decoration on that is going to be one of our unfinished projects. So we've added some horizontal lines to break up this wall, and probably going to extend those across the bridge. Okay, now here's the part where I think it gets interesting. We're going to grab some basalt, stole from the nether. Polishing most of it probably, might use a little bit of regular basalt. Youch. And we're going to use this as kind of our most aggressive texturing block. Sometimes dark corners on stuff looks alright if you're like trying to round it, I think. So let's see if that works. This may be a little bit much. A bunch of that there. Go. Put a lot there. And then down for a couple more blocks. Kind of sort of irregularly probably. Gonna put in some tuff. And that is also gonna give a darker color. But unlike this stuff, it's gonna blend pretty well in toward the plain just cobble color. So we can take a little look at it from the distance. I think right here it's maybe a little bit stripy. We've adjusted this to be a little bit flatter. We'll look at it again. Then down here we have like another 6 blocks that it's just cobblestone. And that's gonna look a bit crap. So we've got to put some stuff in to change that up. I've kind of experimented testing with both andesite and stone, and I don't think the best that we can do is just chuck in a mix of both. We have enough blocks that aren't cobblestone that the cobblestone doesn't look obnoxious. I keep coming back and changing a few more blocks. It's so difficult to get this like shadow effect right, and I think the hardest part honestly is just not overdoing it. But down here it really just needs like one layer of tuff basically that is kind of randomly broken up and just stops existing in places. And then some exceptions, like we have a little dark spot there because it's like actually kind of in a corner crevice. And the final thing we're going to want to do to this is mix in some mossy cobble. And down near the water, obviously there's going to be more moisture, stuff is going to grow better. Down here we're going to be, maybe not every block, but pretty consistently doing this. And then on like this level, and there's going to be some spots where it reaches up a little bit. We'll do some spots where it reaches up a lot, like maybe over here we can experiment with one where we pretty much go up to that first ridge line. Okay, so here we have a little view of the finished texturing for this little section. Got some mossy cobble creeping at the bottom. Using some birch leaves as kind of like moss and I don't know what these are, but just kind of vines that are growing on these. And so a lot of this stone portion, including most of the bridge really, is going to follow kind of the same pattern as this. I've started suffering through this, doing a little bit of block scaffolding and scaffolding and whatnot. But I've gone to bed and woke up, and I know exactly what we need though. But we're gonna have to go to the nether to get it. What we need now is one of those gas things. So I think we gotta find a soul sand valley, which I do not remember seeing evidence of one. I know over there's just a lot of Crimson Forest. We can look over there, but I think it's just this stuff. Sort of farthest place that we can easily go that I can think of is just down along the Nether Fortress. So we'll check that direction first, I think. Unfortunately, I've gone as far in this direction as I can, and we're just gonna hope that we get... that might be Nether Waste. Man, these piglins do damage. Oh, they should not have brought this. Can we still touch this stuff? No, we can't. Oh, that's not good. That was right by lava, too. Somehow we, like, jumped out of it, so I think only about half our stuff will have burned. Security guard. Oh man. Oh, it was here. That's not a good place for... Let's take inventory. Lost the trident. Lost her pants. Oh man. And the axe. Well, we're back in the familiar Crimson and Warped Forest. I guess we can investigate a little bit further this way than we've gone before. But I don't remember seeing any soul sand this way. Cannot say this is looking too promising over here. Oh! I think that means that we... I think that means we found it. Unfortunately, we're in the middle of a wall right now. Okay. This looks more promising. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's... Oh, there's gonna be skeletons, aren't there? I don't want to go where there's skeletons. Oh, there's the buddy. Oh my gosh. Let's see where... Okay, we don't want to burn this. Oh! Oh man! Oh, we're in danger. We're in so much danger. Youch! Oh, we didn't bring a shield. That was a bad move, actually. Oh, you gotta be joking me, man. Gee, extra arrows. Great for my 4 durability bow. Come on, buddy. Here go. Instant break. Come on, buddy. Going home with me. Well, that's not ideal either. Stuff isn't gone, but don't really know where we were. Well, I have bad news. Pretty sure all our stuff is gone, including Ghasty Boy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Most of our stuff is like completely gone, but our bow and our pickaxe got picked up by baby piglins. which is actually quite lovely. That was a good pickaxe. Well, I don't really feel like digging through the whole nether again for another Gastaboy. So for the time being, we're going to try just doing some texturing on the top parts of this that we have built already. Started here with these stone brick sections. You can see we're just mixing some regular stone for a little bit less of the brick texture. On the windows, we're going to punch a lot of this out and replace it with andesite. And here we're actually doing a pattern because a lot of these lines at like the bottom and top of windows are kind of spaced out every 3 blocks. So we're kind of keeping with that theme by leaving one thing of stone brick on the 3rd or middle block. The rest of that can get changed out. And then we're also gonna switch out this stuff. I'm gonna do some sort of mix with diorite, and then we also have some light gray concrete powder and andesite. And I feel like the lesson that we've learned from down there is that we shouldn't go too nuts with the shadows. This might be a little bit much, but that's all going to be kind of in a shaded spot. And then down here, we'll do a big blotch of diorite. So, splotch, splotch. All right, y'all. We are back to our goat form. And I think we are going to call this our progress for today. So let's take a look. You can see as we very slowly progress toward it, we've done a lot more texturing up on the top and the clay sections of it, added in a lot of diorite. I've definitely been struggling a little bit with this. One thing that you can see is that just the diorite and the clay really do have quite a different color profile. Like the diorite really stands out. For now, I've decided to just run with it and enjoy it. We've detailed a little bit of this tower out, a lot of the surface, but still not up to the roofs. And the rest of this build is going to be an unfinished project. Building up a collection. So for now, thank you all for watching. Glad to have you along for the adventure. Goodbye. Youch.